Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on this beautiful morning here in Miami Beach with Temple Shalom. My name is Rabbi Joanne Loyven, and I'm joined here by
Rabbi Ethan Bear.
And we are so happy to be here this morning to join together, put our hearts and souls and songs together in song and praise. And I'm just thinking about all of the different ways that in the morning, before we jump into our official call to prayer with Baruch Hu, that we have these Birkot HaShachar and Psukei Zimra, that we have these opportunities to take a moment and be thankful for waking up in the morning, to take a moment and be thankful for our breath and how it so hopefully easily comes in and out of us, filling us with light, filling us with air, and filling us with the soul that God gave us. Boker Tov and Shabbat Shalom. We begin with Modeh Ani. Thank you, God.
Thank you for entrusting me with another day. Modeh Ani. Modeh Ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam, shehechazarta Binishmati Bechemla Rabba Emunatecha Rabba Emunatecha. We continue with Asher Yitzar as we give thanks for all the pathways and openings in our bodies that work with and without our conscious mind, for the miracles of our health and our physical bodies. Please chant with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhmah uvaravo nekavim nekavim, chalulim chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei chisei chodecha, she'im yapatech echad mehem. If even one of these pathways and openings was opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wonders. Baruch atah Adonai, rofecho basar umafli la'asot. And we thank God for our souls as we give voice to them together. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. 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 We continue with the Nesim B'chol Yom, the prayers for daily miracles with many blessings. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lesech v'vina lahavchin ben yom u'ben laila. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asuri.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zoket kiftim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, amechin mitzarei kaper.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumi.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, v'noten liya'ef Torah.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir sheina me'enai utnuma me'afapai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chori.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen. Together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. And we continue with a piece of Torah, having said the blessing for studying Torah. And traditionally in Minyan, we do that with Elu Devarim. These are the things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. Elu Devarim she'ein lahem shiur, she'adam ochel protehem ba'lam hazeh, v'hakeren kayemet lo la'olam haba, ve'elu heim. Kibud avaim ugmilut chasadim vehashkamat bet hamidrash shacharit ve'aravit vehachnasat orchim uvikur cholim v'achnasat kalal ve'yatamet bi'un tefillah ve'hava'at shalom ben adam lachavero ve'talmud Torah Keneged kulam. And we continue with Mizmor Shir, as we continue with blessings for, or actually Baruch She'amar, the beginning of Psukei de Zimra, the verses of praise. Blessed is the one who spoke and the world came to be. And we thank God for all the wonders of creation. Baruch She'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch Aseh v'reshit, Baruch Omer ve'oseh, Baruch gozer u'mkayem, Baruch merachem al ha'aretz, Baruch merachem al ha'brihot, Baruch mishalem sachar tov lireav, Baruch chai la'ad v'kayam la'netzach, Baruch Podeh Umatzil, Baruch Shemo, Bishvachot u'bizmerod negadelcha, Shebechecha u'fercha v'nazkir, Shimcha v'namlichecha, Malkeinu Eloheinu, Yachid Che'olamim, Melech Meshubach u'mfuar, Adei Ad Shemo Agadol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Melech Mehulal Batishbachot. And now, Mizmor Shir, thanking God for Shabbat. Mizmor Shir, Hayom HaShabbat, Tov lehodot la'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha. Emunatcha balevot, alei asor v'alei navel, alei higayon bechino. Mizmor Shir leyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. U'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tzadik katamar yifrach, ke'erez b'Lebanon yizkeh shetulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun besefa deshenim v'ra'ananim yehu lehagi ki yashar Adonai tzuri Continue with Ashrei. Happy are those who dwell in your house. We will continue to praise you forever. Ashrei Yoshvei V'techa Od Yahalelucha Od Yahalelucha Ashrei Yoshvei V'techa Od Yahalelucha Od Yahalelucha Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo Ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Elohim V'nachnu nevarech ya Me'tavi ad olam Hallelujah 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 El Bechotro Hallelujah Berki Ahuzo Hallelujah Bigvorata Hallelujah Kerov Kudo together Hallelujah 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 Beteka Shofar Hallelujah Benevel Vechinor Hallelujah Betofu Machor Hallelujah Beminim Ve'ugav Hallelujah 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 I can't hear you Hallelujah B'tzitzalei Shama Hallelujah B'tzitzalei Truah Kol Anshama Hallelujah 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 together Hallelujah 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 I could almost imagine the tambourine here in the sanctuary with us. Very soon. Nishmat. Nishmat kol chai. Tivarech et shimcha. Adonai Eloheinu. Nishmat kol chai. Tivarech et shimcha. Adonai Eloheinu. Nai 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 Nishmat kol chai, tivarech et shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu. Yishtabach shimcha la'ad malkeinu, ha'el ha'melech ha'gadol v'kadosh b'shamayim u'va'aretz, ki lecha naheh Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, shiru shvacha halel v'zimra, ozu memshala netzach, gedula u'gvura, tehila v'tiferet, kedusha u'malchut, berachot v'hodahot me'ata ve'ad olam, baruch atah Adonai, El melech gadol batishbachot, El hahodahot Adon haniflaot, Abocher b'shirei zimra, Melecho elchei ha'olami. And we continue with the Chetzi Kaddish to demarcate the pause between Sukkot Zimra and Shacharit. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemerabah v'yalmad divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon v'chayedecho beit Yisrael b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehesh merabah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemed kudasha barichu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. And now we are ready to pray, so please rise and face east towards the holiest center of the universe, Jerusalem. Nine, 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 nine. Nine, 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 nine. Nine, 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 nine. Nine, 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 nine. Nine, 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 nine. Nine, 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 nine. Nine, 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 nine. Baruch et Adonai, Amevorach. Baruch Adonai, Amevorach, Amevorach, Leolam Vaed. Amevorach, Amevorach, Leolam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or u'borei choshech oseh shalom u'borei et hakol. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or u'borei choshech oseh shalom u'borei et hakol. Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir v'nizkechu lanu mehera le'olam. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hameorot. Ahava rabbav tanu Adonai Eloheinu chemla gedola v'teva chamalta aleinu. Vatlamdem chukei chayim. Ken techonenu tlamdenu, ken techonenu tlamdenu, hamerachem, rachem aleinu. V'ten b'livenu lehavin ulhaskil lishmoa, lilmod ulelamed, lishmor v'lasot. Ulkayem et kol divrei Talmud Toratecha b'ahava v'ha'ereneinu b'toratecha v'dahabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levaveinu v'ahava ulhira et shemecha v'lo nebosh v'lo nikaleb v'lo nikashem le'olam va'ed. כי ושם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו נגילה ונשמחה נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך. As we gather the four corners of the tzitzit, representing Jews from the four corners of the earth together, V'havienu leshalom me'arba kanfot haaretz v'tolichenu kol miut le'artenu. Ki poel yeshuotata uvanu becharta v'keravtanu l'shimcha gadol selah be'emet lehodot lecha u'yachedcha be'ahava. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'mo Yisrael ve'ahava. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod V'Chafuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol medecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher achi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha v'vetecha u'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shofbecha u'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael v'yamarta alehem, v'asu lahem tzitzit, al kanfei bigdeihem ledoratam, v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf b'til techebet. V'haya lachem tzitzit uritem atom uzchartem et kol mitzvot Adonai va'asitem tam v'lo taturu acharei levavechem v'acharei nechem asher tem zonim achareihem v'man tizkeru va'asitem et mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Amen.
Who is like you, Adonai, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? With new song inspired, at the shore of the sea, the redeemed sang your praise. In unison, they all offered thanks. Acknowledging your sovereignty, they said, Adonai will reign forever. Rock of Israel, rise in support of Israel and redeem Judah and Israel as you promised. Our Redeemer, Adonai Tzvaot, is your name. Blessed are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. We continue in Hebrew, Michamocha.
Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Hamoha Ba'ali Mayona Hamoha Nedar Bakodesh Lo Rakahilo Oh say Hamoha Ba'ali Mayona Hamoha Nedar Bakodesh Lo Rakahilo Oh, say, who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like Adonai? Shira Hadisha, Shibiyiguri, Shib Asfar Haya, Yahadam Yadu, Vehimi Adonai Lo Leolam Baed, who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Thank you, Mark. Tur Yisrael. Let's continue with Tur Yisrael. Kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, uvdechinu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzavot shemo, kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Adonai sefatai tikva kufia yitehimata. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. To pray as if everything depended on God, and act as if everything. Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor B'Avraham, El Elyon, Gomel Chasedim Tovim, Ve'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasei Avot L'Imahot, U'megi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Le'man Shmo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, v'chayei hakol tara v'hoshia. Morid hatal, mechalkel chayim v'chesed, mechayei hakol v'rachamim rabim. Tomech noflim v'rafeh cholim. Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Ishenei Achar, Michamo חבל גבולות ומדומלה מלך מילים מחיה ומצמיח תשובה למען אתה לחיות עמו ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי העם בעולם כשם שמכירים הכתוב על יד נביאך וקרא זה אל זה ואמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלוך כל הארץ כבודו אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו ומלכנו ומושיענו והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי אני אדוני אלוהיך ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהי ציון לדור ודור הללויה לדור ודור נגיד גודלך לנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש ושטחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. And we're going to continue with Yismechu before our quiet prayer. So please sing with me, even though sadly won't be able to hear you. Yismechu ve'malechutecha shomre 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 Shabbat ve'kore oneg Shabbat. Yismechu ve'malechutecha shomre 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 Shabbat ve'kore oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshe Mekadesh Shvi Shabbat Kulam Yisbehu Veitanku Mitu Lecha Shabbat Yismechu V'malechutecha Shomre 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 Shabbat V'kore Oneg Shabbat Yismechu V'malechutecha Shomre, 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 Shabbat v'kore, Oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi, Ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat. Chemdat yamin, Oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha. Shomre, 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 Shabbat v'kore, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha. Shomre, 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 Shabbat v'kore, Oneg Shabbat. Zecher l'maseh bereshit Shabbat. Zecher l'maseh bereshit l'maseh bereshit Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha. Shomre, 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 Shabbat v'kore, Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha. Shomre, 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 Shabbat v'kore, Oneg Shabbat. Please take the joy of Yismechu into your silent devotion now. quiet pinging of a cell phone tells us to come back from our silent prayer. No, seriously, this is the Shabbat before Yom HaAtzmaut, which is Israeli Independence Day, first Yom HaZikaron, and then Israeli Independence Day this coming week. And so in honor of Yom HaAtzmaut, let's sing Ani Ve'ata, which is an Eric Einhorn favorite from Israel, a song in Hebrew that means you and I will change the world and then all will join us. And I have to say that I hear this song at least twice a day because it's on a CD of children's music that I play to and from temple every day. And it is very cute to hear my 3-year-old attempt to sing these lyrics in Hebrew. So please do better than her. We will have a slide on screen, Ani ve'ata, as we infuse this prayer with really the intention of continuing to hold a vision of Israel as a light unto the nations, as a beacon of peace and as a beacon of morality and justice for the whole world, which continues to be our aspiration as we work towards that in Israel. Ani ve'ata. Ani ve'ata nishane et ha'olam. Ani ve'ata az yavo kvar kulam. Amru et ze kodem lefanai ze lo meshane. Ani ve'ata nishane et ha'olam. Ani ve'ata nenase mehatchala yeh lanu ra ein davar ze lo nora. Ani ve'ata nishane et ha'olam. Ani ve'ata nishane et ha'olam.
And we continue now with our Torah service. Please rise physically or spiritually as you wish as we open the ark doors and remove the Torah from the ark.
Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai ve'en kema'asecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimlok le'olam va'ed, Adonai os le'amo yiteh, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom al harachamim. Etiva v'tzocha et Zion, Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Ki becha levad v'tachnu, Melech eram v'nisa, Adon olam. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Udvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Iti, U'Ne'emana Shemo Yachad. Lecha Adonai HaGedola, VeHaGevora, VeHaTiferet, VeHaNetzach, VeHaHod. Ki Chol Hashamayim U'Va'aretz, Ki Chol Hashamayim U'Va'aretz. Lecha Adonai HaMamlacha, VeHaMitnaseh Lechol Erod.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. A few years ago, I spent the summer leading Nifty in Israel, a trip for 16-year-olds to explore Europe and Israel. The night before we went to the concentration camps in Poland, we had a session to discuss what it might feel like. The students shared their thoughts and expectations, imagining what it might mean to actually come to a place they had learned about all through their Jewish education and seen in the movies. A place of unfathomable catastrophe. So large there are no words, and they would soon be walking on those same grounds. Some kids expected to get angry. In fact, just the thought that those places existed already made them angry. Others said their older siblings, parents, or cousins had come back telling stories of the tears they had shed upon entering. Some worried they wouldn't feel anything. Then we went, witnessing the grounds ourselves. Afterward, a few students had come to speak with me privately. They hadn't felt what they had anticipated. Some expected nothing and were overwhelmed by emotions, while their friends had expected to feel so much and walked away numb and quiet, unsure of why they did it wrong. But that's just it. We can never really know the ways a powerful event or experience might impact our emotions. There's no right or wrong way. There are endless examples we could share where it is apparent that we all process our own ways in our own time. There is no reason to compare, especially when it can be so easy to judge others' processes or even to judge ourselves. The Torah this week in Parshat Shmini tells us a story of two brothers who experience tragedy and react drastically differently. The first ordination ceremony had concluded, and Aaron and his sons were officially priests. Moses was probably so proud of his brother and his nephews, and looking forward to his family taking on the sacred tasks of leading the temple worship and carefully following the detailed instructions God had given regarding exactly how to do each step. So quickly after the first successful sacrifice was consumed by the Eternal, just as the Eternal had commanded them, the sons Nadav and Avihu took a turn. This one was not commanded. They were playing with foreign fire, and they did not survive it. The minute they brought the lit incense, they were immediately engulfed in God's flames. The cause, the motive, the sin, if in fact that's what it was, has perplexed Torah scholars throughout the ages and remains a mystery to readers today. Regardless of the reason, the traumatic event leaves Moses and Aaron in shock. Much like today, we rarely know the reason, either human or cosmic, behind the tragedy. Nadav and Avihu, the newly minted priests, had died, and Moses and Aaron were left to cope. The text explains that Moses turned to his brother, saying, "This is what the Lord meant when God said, 'Through those near to me, I show myself holy and gain glory before all the people.'" In this, he refers to an earlier quote from God saying that God's glory will be sanctified by the children of Israel through the tabernacle where this event took place. However, we can hear it in modern English in contemporary times as Moses, looking over and seeing his brother Aaron in a moment of need and wanting to be there for him, says the old, "Everything happens for a reason," or "something good will come of it, we just can't see it now." Perhaps we've been there, at least on one side of the conversation. Something happens and we process by wanting to help others and be there for others. This could be a moment when Moses might not have known what to say, but he wanted to say something. We can assume good intentions on Moses' part. Maybe he was also distracting himself from his own pain by turning to help his brother. The text continues with Aaron's reaction, silence, and Aaron was silent, appears right after Moses' reaction. That silence was the way Aaron processed the traumatic incident. People process differently. Some people need to process out loud and discuss every piece of information. Some process physically, such as crying, laughter, or even physical illness. Aaron could have been processing this internally. Or maybe he was not ready to confront what had just happened. Maybe he was not ready to open up about it to others. He needed more time. His silence spoke volumes. Societies have been trying to understand this for centuries, why different people react differently to things and how to interact with others as they react and process different events. There are personality typing tests ranging from Myers-Briggs to the Enneagram, and even the modern what TV show character or biblical character are you, proving over and over that we can type people to help us understand the people in the world around us. No one type is better than the other. And it's reasonable that after a traumatic event, someone, even one of the most powerful leaders, would have no words to make it better. Moses tried to console his brother and give meaning to the shocking event that otherwise seemed random and horrifically unfair. Yet there was nothing he could say or do to make the situation better. Perhaps Aaron just needed more time, and perhaps he was processing in his own way. The tragic tale in our Torah this week guides us to an understanding that people have their own process, and that is something to be valued. May we all have the strength to see the other people in their process and be open and understanding to ourselves as we process the world in our own authentic way. Shabbat Shalom. And we continue with the reading of the beginning of this week's Torah portion in Shemini, Leviticus chapter 9, verses 1 through 3. I will read in Hebrew and then in English. And for the honor of the Aliyah this morning, it is my honor to call up to the Torah Alyssa and Aaron Herschel with their new baby Milo. Who had his bris yesterday.
We did.
Name, I believe, is Moshe ben Abraham.
Yes, perfect. Ready?
Yep.
Baruch Adonai Hamorah.
Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Vayehi beyom hashmini kara Moshe la'Aharon ulevanav ulizkenei Yisrael. Vayomer al Aharon kach lecha egel ben bakar lechatat ve'ayil le'olat minim ve'hakrev lifnei Adonai. Ve'el b'nei Yisrael tedaber lemor kachu se'ir izim lechatat ve'egel ve'cheves b'nei shana temimim le'olam. And in English, on the 8th day, Moses called Aaron and his sons, the elders of Israel. He said to Aaron, take a calf of the herd for purgation offering and a ram for burnt offering without blemish and bring them before the Eternal. And speak to the Israelites saying, take a he-goat for purgation offering and a calf and a lamb, yearlings without blemish for burnt offering, and an ox and a ram for an offering of well-being to sacrifice before the Eternal, and a meal offering with oil mixed in, for today the Eternal will appear to you. And before we say the final blessings, the closing blessings for Torah, first I would like to offer A blessing to our new member of the community, Moshe ben Abraham, and to his parents, Alyssa and Aaron. And Aaron, also, I heard your birthday is tomorrow. So I would like to offer a blessing to the whole family, that may Moshe ben Abraham, may Milo bring you only joy, and may his life be filled with simchas, and may he be a blessing for you and to you, and may your family celebrate only simchas in the future. May you all be blessed.
Thank you.
And we also continue with Amisha Berach. For the whole community, if anyone is thinking of someone who they would like to add to our prayers this morning, thinking of someone in need of healing of body, mind, or spirit, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts as you wish, or you can unmute yourselves at this moment if you would like.
Sophie Mayerson, Barney Mayerson, Jerry Core, Yoli Nadal, and Clara Benavente.
Martha Borsky.
We keep all of their names in our hearts as we pray together these ancient words of healing. Misha berach avotenu v'imotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, v'yivarech et hacholim shalanu. Kadosh Baruch Hu yimalei rachamim aleihem, v'hachalimam u'lerapatam u'lehachazikam, v'yishlach lehem mehara refuah shlema min hashamayim, refuat hanefesh u'refuat haguf, hashta b'galav v'zman kariv, v'nomar amen. And we continue with the closing blessing for Torah. I invite Alyssa and Aaron and Milo back to the screen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'haye olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. And Mazel Tov, Aaron and Alyssa, as you've brought Milo to the Torah this morning, may you continue to bring Milo into a life of Torah, to chuppah and to ma'asim tovim, acts of goodness. And let's sing Siman Tov together. Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov. Yehelanu, 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 Urecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Urecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Urecha Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Urecha Yisrael. So cute.
Wow, he's beautiful. Thank you for
Thank you so much.
sharing him with us
Yes,
this morning.
for bringing him to the Torah this morning.
And we continue with the Torah service as we lift and dress the Torah with Hagba and Galila. Yeah, and do Hagba U'Koleh.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Etz chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomcheha me'usha deracheha tachenoam v'chol netivoteha shalom ashivenu Adonai elecha Shul Chadesh Yameinu And we continue with Aleinu as we pray for a world repaired together. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol la'tet gedula le'etzer breshit shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot ve'lo samanu kimishpechot ha'adama shelo sam chalkeinu kahen ve'gor aleinu kechol amonam va'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
At this point in our service, we turn our hearts and minds to those who are no longer with us. This week, we especially think of the 6 million men, women, and children who were murdered in the Shoah, as we just commemorated Yom HaShoah and Israel's Holocaust Memorial Day. And we also think of this week ahead with Yom HaZikaron, all of those who died in violence in Israel and for fighting for our freedom to have our homeland in Israel. If you are thinking of someone who has died at this time in years past, or if you are in a period of mourning, please feel free to share their names with our community out loud or write them in the chat as you wish.
My friend from high school, junior high school, and grade school, Ellen Sanger.
Rabbi Schiff.
We think of all of those in our community and in our hearts who we have loved and lost, as we say together, Mourners Kaddish. Please rise if you are able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. V'amad yivrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudasha v'reichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mrama hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Zichrona livracha, may their memories always be for us a blessing. And we close our service this morning with Kiddush.
So lift with me your cup of sweetness of choice, and we'll sing together the Shamru and the Kiddush. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat bedorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Ki sheshet yamin asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz uvayom ha'ashvi'i shavat v'yinafash ahakem berach Adonai et yom ha-shabbat v'yikadshehu baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei Peri Hagafen.
Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. And we close our Shabbat service this morning with Shir Chadash, sing a new song.
Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir hadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. We will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir hadash. We will sing unto God a new song.
Thank you. Yasher Koach. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining.